right, so welcome back to another episode of Neighborhood Politics. I am Mrs. Neighborhood Politics.
And I'm Mr. Neighborhood Politics.
And we have two special guests on the podcast that cannot stop laughing. I'm with y'all. So do y'all want to introduce yourselves?
You go first.
It's whatever you want to say. How you want to introduce yourself? How you want people to see you? What do you want people to know you by, Big Rude?
Yeah, they call me Big Rude, you know what I'm saying?
They call you Big Rude?
For sure.
Okay.
Number 12. All right.
He's trying to hype you up. Go ahead, Layla.
My name is Layla, and I'm captain of the Woodward Park cheer team.
Okay, you see how she came in.
I could have said that too. I don't know why.
You could have said, yeah, but Layla, she gonna bring that fire every time. Right. You know what I'm saying? You know. But we have not had an episode in so long. We wanted to come back with something new, a new scenery. Y'all see we got our Neighborhood Politics shirts on, just to represent a little bit. Mm-hmm. So what have we been doing?
Coaching, mentoring, teaching, grinding. We've been putting in a lot of work. I would say we just came off of a great season at Woodward Park. My first season there as a basketball coach, your second season as a cheerleading coach. So getting in, now we in AAU season. I know you finished, we both finished up on the school year, and then both our 8th graders just finished up on their school year, about to embark onto high school. It's going to be sad to see y'all go and not have y'all next year, but it was definitely an honor with Reub, as your coach, and I'm sure
for sure
Coach y'all can say the same for Layla.
Well, Layla, she owed me to come back and help my girls out because she's not cheering.
I'm coming back.
You're not cheering in high school?
She's not cheering in high school. That broke my heart because why wouldn't she cheer?
That's what I'm saying.
Why wouldn't she cheer? We was just talking about it in the car. I'm like, you cheer? She's like, nope. Just once you cheer for me, you don't want to cheer for nobody else because you.
If you're not gonna be there, I don't want to be there.
Period.
That's what's up.
That's just the type of relationship we got.
That's what's up.
So I got a question. So you coached at a college level at Midway, right? You help assist.
Midway University.
And then you did AAU for girls.
Yeah.
And then you transitioned to middle school boys. Like how was that transition from going from you played college ball, but you also assisted with college ball, and then you started coaching high school girls, and then you went to middle school boys.
Right.
What was that transitioning like?
It was a challenge. I had no intentions. I had no intentions on doing boys. Rude, no disrespect. I had no intentions. I enjoy just coming out because I used to come to the games last year periodically when I can, and I enjoyed just coming to the games and actually watching the cheerleaders. But Layla, I don't think you was on that team.
She wasn't.
Yeah, so I had no intentions. I had told you I liked working with girls. Boys come with a lot of egos, a lot of pride. They like watching Trae Young. We in the playoffs right now, so look, Trae Young just hit a buzzer beater yesterday against Boston, so watch, it's gonna be a young dude that's gonna try to do the same thing. That's what comes with boys. So I wanted to kind of stay away from that, and I enjoy working with my girls.
Yeah.
It was a struggling season for me at my AAU season, but I learned a lot. And then of course, we're coming from college. Skill is pretty much already there. It's pretty much just like putting it all together. And I was an assistant, so I really didn't have much of a role as far as like X's and O's and calling plays and making things happen. I was just more there. So I would say for support. So I feel like this was a big task, coming in, considering that Woodward Park had a good season last year, and I knew they had some talent. I didn't know what to expect, but it ended up going smoothly, the transition over. I mean, I had a good group of boys. They was respectful. They all got along with each other. So I didn't know what to expect coming into it, but with cats like Reub, when your team has, captains, they make things go well. I would say it was a great transition for me.
So now you coaching again, and you coaching middle school boys again. So you went from a certain amount of, you had a certain amount of talent at Woodward Park, and then now you going to this AAU team, and you got a certain amount of talent. What's the differences as far as what you see so far? I mean, AAU is just a different ball game in general. Yeah,
AAU is different. AAU is more, I would say, personally, and I coach AAU, so I don't know if I should say this on air, but it is what it is. I really don't care for it as much because it's not as structured.
Yeah.
It's more getting up and down and just scoring the ball. You know, I want to sit down, play defense, rotate, you know, call your little plays, you know, get up and down, but I still like the structure part of the game of where it come with middle school. And I had cats like Reuben on my team to where you don't see often in middle school, to where you can throw a oop up to them. Or, you know what I'm saying, fast breaks, you know, athleticism, the skill that I had and the size that I had at a middle school level. Although I knew it was there, like I said, I had no intent on coaching them, but they would get someone kind of spoiled in terms of, you know, when you go out there, you with them every single day at practice, and you seeing like the skill set of Rubens and the skill sets of like Keons and big boys like Pharaohs and Makai's and the rest of the group of boys to go to more of a and there was a lot of developing we still had to do, a whole lot of developing skill, but now I'm with middle school ball. I would say, you know, I'm gonna say it the best way. I went from dealing with some very skilled middle school players to, you know, back to developing at a normal 8th grade probably level.
Oh, so this is the big question. The big question. Are you gonna coach next year at Woodward Park?
Ooh, can we?
Nah, but look, if you do, I will come back.
You gonna come back?
I will come back. And
On
help.
who?
What?
On who?
You gonna come back? I'm coming back. A lot of people.
Are you gonna really come back?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Oh yeah, I'm coming.
You gonna come? That's what's up. We need the support. You know, but I'm gonna do it. A lot of coaches had asked me and was reaching out, trying to get me to, you know, join their staff at high school, and
the high school level.
At the high school level, but we got business to still tend to. We fell short in the championship, which I'm sure we'll talk about here. You know, we fell short this year. We had a great run, but yeah, we still got business to, you know, tend to, and I feel like my time really isn't up at that level right now. So
yes.
Yeah, I'll be a Wildcat. I'll be a Wildcat next year for sure.
A Wildcat again and again. So Rube, you played for him, obviously. What was that like? Like, well, you had a different coach last year, and then he came in. He was new. You never met him before. What was it like having to adjust or warm up to his coaching style? Was it different from what you was used to? Was it like on point? Like, how did you feel about working with him?
It wasn't really hard adjusting to it. I mean, he was kind of like a kid to us too, but like in a respectful way, but like
relatable.
Yeah.
Okay. Relatable.
And we could like talk to him and like be ourselves when we couldn't be ourselves around nobody else.
Yeah. So how was the coaching style though? Like you had a different coach from last year compared to him being your coach this year. What was some differences that you would say like from last year compared to this year that you had to maybe like adjust to, like that was different for you, should I say?
It was a lot more structure to the way we could build like a bond around the whole team.
Yeah.
Because most people didn't have, you know, some of us came into the season with skill.
Yeah.
And some of us didn't. But like towards the end of the season, we all developed something out of it.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, that's big. I will probably, you know, second that because, you know, coming in, it was a lot of work that had to be done with, you know, all the boys. You know, Rube still got a lot of work to do, you know. Makai, he'll be returning 8th grader. He got a lot of work to do, but I've seen growth, you know, amongst all of them. And I mean, you know, whether that had been just dribbling the ball or, you know, just for me, you know, I'm a defensive guy. When I play college ball, you know, I'm up in your face. I'm Pat Bev. You know, I'm clapping. I'm going crazy. So I like seeing
smacking the floor.
Yeah, I like seeing good defensive rotations. I like seeing everybody in the right spots. You know, like I always told the boys, like, because we would get like a lot of steals. On just sometimes playing against players that wasn't as skilled at dribbling the ball. You know, like I used to tell them boys, like, man, I'm not really too impressed with y'all just being able to take the ball first, but I can't dribble. I want to see you steal that ball in rotation, the help side, help the helper, you know, somebody drop back, be where you're supposed to be, talking on defense. You know, that's what I like seeing. So as the season progressed, I was definitely able to see that amongst a lot of the boys. And what really impressed me was the second unit. I would say a lot of times, you know, I would pit them in and that's where I would really see the growth, though, you know, because my main boys, you know, they was better than a lot of people that we played, and they just was able to do things a lot easier. But you see your work that you put in when your second unit get in, and they might kind of be at that skill level of the other team, but their hard work is is making them stand out a little bit more. They're rotating on defense. You see them talking. You see Quanell getting steals and passing lanes to where you're like, how did Quanell get that steal? But because
24/7,
but because he was rotating on defense, so it's like that's where you see the the hard work that we was putting in. Not to say I don't know how their practice went last year, but I used to put them boys through it in our practice. I used to come home mad, headaches.
He did. Y'all used to be making him mad.
Yeah, I was ready to
He used to be mad like.
Don't say we all.
Right. But this is the thing he used to say, like, Rube cool, he be chilling, but he, you a leader. And I told you that before, but it's clear as day you a leader, but I think you struggle with trying to like lead because you don't want to tell nobody what to do. You be like, that's on them, man. I'm doing what I'm supposed to. And it's like, nah, you a leader. And they look up to you and they see you and they like, okay, if you was to say stop, they gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's been like a little bit like challenging, maybe a little challenging, I could be wrong, for you to adjust to because you ain't trying to tell nobody what to do. Like when we had our conversation, you just like, you listen, but he definitely never really he definitely was upset a bunch of little times.
I rarely came home happy. But that goes to show the work that we put in because as a coach, I could have came home. We probably had great practices. We probably had amazing, and I'm sure we did. We usually go like 6 days. I'm sure 4 out of 6 days it was great practices. But like I used to talk to a lot of the boys, and I know cats like Ruben got high expectations. Cats like Keon, the Keon Bonners, they got high expectations. So my job, like I told them, it ain't. I know you're gonna be able to show up on Mondays and Wednesdays and get your numbers against these games. But how can I help prepare you for the next level? If you want to be a varsity player, if you want to soon be a collegiate player, So, in terms of middle school ball, I used to always tell them, if y'all wanted to play for such and such, this probably would be a great practice. But, considering that y'all are Woodward Park Wildcats and y'all want to be varsity players next year, I don't know a lot, but I know what it's going to take for you to get, on that varsity court. I do know that. And I can tell you, if you give me 80% middle school, is what, 60%, 50% in high school?
Yeah.
So, it's a different ball game. So
it's a total different ball game.
Yeah, but what I would say about Ruben is he made, back kind of to that question as far as transitioning, he made coaching easy. Because I played ball and I've coached now for a little time, but Ruben is the type of player to where every coach and every teammate, you want somebody like him on your team.
Yeah.
He's respectful. I ain't gonna say the best player on my team right now because I don't want to ruffle nobody's feelings, but
when you see this clip,
yeah, but he's the
get in those comments, y'all.
He's Ruben Holmes, so sometimes you meet people like Ruben or coaches have players like Ruben, and you don't know what work ethic you're gonna get out of people like Ruben when you're your best players. Your superstar treatment, NBA treatment. They say like people like Kawhi don't practice. Rube came to practice every day. Came to work hard every day, every sprint. He ran. I used to have to challenge cats like, man, listen, ain't nobody gonna ever beat Rube in a race. Like, come on now, that's just hard. You can't tell me that he coming here winning a race this sprint every single time. Yeah. So Rube is that type of player. He's gonna come, work hard. You ask Rube. I used to call Rube. I used to pull up with like the waters, Gatorades. You see little things, the pieces before games. I used to hit up Rube. Rube was my main source of contact. You used to hate that. Rube, tell the boys to come out there.
He used to just be like, I'm about to call Rube. I'm like, bro, like,
yeah.
Rube, I'm about to call Rube right now.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I used to call Rube, like, Rube, tell the boys to come out here and get the pieces. Rube used to come out there and get the pieces. Rube used to come out there and grab the things of water, and then he used to have, a few people with him, but it's like it shows character.
Yeah.
And as a coach, in my mind, I'm thinking like, Rube, you need to go ahead, relax, bro. Put your feet up, get ready for this game. I need you to go for 30 and 20.
Yeah.
I need you to relax, go ahead, put your music in. Don't even talk to none of these cats.
Best believe first game I went for 40.
Yeah. But Rube was the one coming out there picking up the pieces. So as a coach, you see small things like that, man. Like not only is he a great basketball player on the court, but he has great character.
Yeah.
On and off the court.
On and off. Yeah.
But Layla, how was so you didn't cheer last year?
Mm-mm.
But she cheered before though.
But you cheered before. So
Yeah.
how was your season? What was that like for you now cheering with Coach Ya and your first year cheering in middle school ball as an 8th grader?
It was like really good. I just feel like it like because I feel like I was losing some of my cheer skills and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I need to get this back. So I'm like cheering like definitely helped with all my skills, and Coach Ya as a coach definitely like gave us all confidence, built our confidence up sky high. Like it's been really good, and I feel like cheering with like the girls was like a really fun experience because they was like all good people. Yes, we had days like we was very irritated. We had to run. Yes, but like.
But what y'all have to run?
We had to run because they had to.
No, but hold on, for real. Realistically, how many laps would I make y'all run? Just on the regular, like.
They'll be telling me they ran 17 laps around the
No,
house.
listen. I'm gonna let you finish, Layla. But I just gotta realistically on the warm up day, just a regular day when ain't nobody got in trouble. How many laps?
2. But we got in trouble a lot, bro. Like it was this.
Somebody told me they got in trouble.
We had to run like 18 laps
around the whole school.
Yeah.
I know they got in trouble for what?
They said somebody failed and they started laughing.
So I got.
Everybody
They was in
started-
trouble for that. I got y'all. That ain't
Miss
happened.
Hill,
Miss Hill.
teacher fell on the steps and we started laughing. And she
Oh,
was-
a teacher fell when y'all started laughing, and Miss Hill told me. Then I punished y'all because somebody probably already said something. I'm sorry, Layla. Finish what you were saying. I just wanted to, because you was like, we run. I'm like, realistically, like, people need to know that y'all only used to run 2
It's
laps.
cool if they
less.
ran.
That's what
No,
I'm saying.
as a
We-
coach,
we
nah.
running
No,
17.
because-
I used to make them
Sometimes we ain't
boys
even make
get on
it.
the line. Yeah, Mr. Free Throw. I used to.
No, I'm saying they only ran 2 laps. They act like they ran 5, 6, 7. 8. It's 2 laps.
we ran that much when we got in trouble.
Somebody
We got in trouble every
Somebody
day.
told me 17.
Like every day, one of them, we all be cool. One person come down. Oh my God, we gotta run 2 extra laps. I'm like, why? They like, my teacher emailed Coach y'all.
Yeah, y'all used to be tripping. She used to hit me up like, yeah, such and such, and I got an email because such and such and got in trouble, and I'm like, man, them girls is okay. They cool.
But finish what you were saying. That we gonna go into, we're gonna go into us. But you was just pretty much finish what you were saying. I'm sorry. I just had to put it out there. There was 2 laps, y'all. Just 2 laps. Outside of them getting in trouble. So if they didn't get in trouble, they wouldn't have to run 2 laps. So.
All right, but it was like cheering. It was like our first game. I was so scared. Like I didn't know if I was gonna mess up. I didn't know if I was gonna fall, tumbling. It was a lot. So like my mind was like everywhere. But like I just knew like I was gonna do it. But like during practice, like when you like used to get there at like 2:45, I knew it was my responsibility as captain to get them stretched, run, water in lines, warm ups, working on cheers as soon as you got there. So that's what I try to do. They don't listen sometimes, so sometimes I have to get irritated and I have to really step up to do that. And I tried my best to do it, and
I think
it
you
worked
did an
out every
awesome
time.
job.
Thank you.
I think it was pretty evident, like from even tryouts, that you was gonna make it, and I'm so upset that we haven't had 2 years with y'all. Cause I'm telling y'all, what we just like did in 1 year, bro. If we would have had y'all for 2 years, it would have been crazy. Like it would have, like, cause what we just accomplished in this 1 year all together as a basketball team and as a cheerleading team, like, and just individually as like coaches and stuff like that, we would have been somewhere up in the clouds somewhere, like, cause 1 year we just accomplished a lot, but it was pretty evident from like tryouts, like you came in like, let's go, I'm ready. Like,
So you didn't know she could cheer? Like you didn't know?
no, cause I had Layla in Beautiful Butterfly. So when at Woodward Park is like, so I do Beautiful Butterfly. That's a mentorship program. So most of the time with the girls, I either work with them through Beautiful Butterfly, or I might have had them in class, or like cheerleading. So I had her in Beautiful Butterfly. So I knew Layla, I had a relationship with Layla, but she didn't try out last year. Why didn't you try out last year? Yeah, so
She ain't know if y'all was gonna be some scrubs or not. Let her know. That's what it comes
exactly
down.
why you ain't just say that?
Yeah, she didn't know if y'all was gonna be some scrubs. I mean,
Yeah, I know if it was gonna be good.
yeah, she had to fill it out.
It don't even matter. It don't even matter. Y'all trying to play me, but it was
Should've
never
seen our
that. 'Cause
tryouts. It was something hectic. I'm trying.
Who ours?
Our tryouts.
Oh yeah, ours was crazy. Ours was to the point where I think I asked you because I was going to have Ruben and them not even come back the next
next day
day.
he said
Yeah,
they don't.
he
I was
was
like,
come
no,
back
they
to
still need to
practice.
come. You need to let people know who made
Yeah,
it.
but it was just because I needed to see
who really had
I'm like,
yeah.
it was like seeing. I'm like, oh my goodness, oh wow.
I told him we was gonna come.
Yeah, so it was Ruben, Makai.
Don't be start like what?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Like,
I'm just gonna say,
But it was like it went. The list got higher as we went through the second practice.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But no, so sorry y'all, because we ain't getting off my girl late. We just let y'all talk for about 12 minutes.
I was done.
No, I was just saying, like, telling you that I was like, it was pretty evident from when she came to cheerleading tryouts. Like, we just knew, but she came in like with confidence. Like, you was a quick learner, everything, and it was just instant. I just knew you was gonna be captain because it was like the way you carried yourself, like just like how you was talking about with Reub, like Layla, like, all right, y'all, come on, let's get together, like, come on, and even tryout, she was helping people, like, and you didn't come to first day tryouts, did you? I mean, yeah, she didn't come the first day. She came like the second day or something and learned everything, and then was teaching other people. So I'm like,
she came over and took over.
Yeah, she came in and definitely took over. Her and a bunch of girls. When you tried out, I don't remember who you tried out with, but me and like all this.
It was like me, Janae, Bella, and I think Kai.
I mean, you made everybody, not just you, I'm just saying everybody look good, but I'm saying like it just was like, oh, this whole stream right here, they made the team. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely was like, oh, okay, well, I like her. You know what I'm saying? She's showing great characteristics. That's why I'm like, you used to cheer. You like, yeah, I cheered before. Like, why you ain't cheered last year? But one thing that you did say to me and that you just said, and I just don't understand it, but not understand it in a bad way, just like, wow, that's amazing to me. It's like, I feel like you came in with confidence. Like, you came, to me, and to like everybody that was judging, like, you know, as far as staff, like, you came in with confidence. And then you tell me like, nah, you actually helped me get confidence. And I'm like, that is crazy to me because you came in just like head held high. I would have never even like thought that you didn't have no, like, well, I ain't gonna say no, but just like you said, you just looked like you did, but actually you gained it throughout the season. So how do you feel like I helped you gain confidence? Like in what ways or yeah, in what ways I would say?
Like when we like Beautiful Me, like 7th grade, I took what you said to us and like worked on it through the summer, mature myself, better myself, and like the beginning of 8th grade, I just knew I was gonna be a new Layla, and all the teachers tell me that.
They're just gonna be a new Layla?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's up. Well, I got something for you then, Layla. It was a clip that stood out to me this season that I'll probably never forget. I don't know if Rue, you think
what clip? Let's talk about it.
That clip.
Okay, dang. So we see that's why he was my man.
No.
So Rue, you know, it's a big game.
What's the clip do?
We gonna get there at the moment. This is probably our livest game of the season. You know, somebody that hit me up, you know, pretty much told me that kid was talking stuff that they wanted to play us. So I'm like, okay, let's put it together, blah, blah, blah. Then it came to find out that they had some cheerleaders too. So the cheerleaders kind of wanted to cheer against our cheerleaders. So this had became like a huge sporting game that I was low-key wasn't even aware what's going to happen. But once I got there, I kind of started feeling the energy.
No, we felt the energy. Remember right before we was getting ready to go, and I was like, have you ever seen a basketball team? He was like, no.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
bunch of football players.
Yeah.
I said, I've never even seen a cheerleading team. And then he was like, yeah, me either. I said, oh man, this still sound like a setup, you know?
Yeah.
And we started both cracking up. We was leaving out. It was before we got the kid. I'm like, man, this might be a little setup or something. This a little weird. You ain't never hear about them. I ain't never seen them.
You know, but we wasn't concerned. But
no, we wasn't concerned, but it was just funny because we both never, but
yeah, so
I know that I was not going to let them learn dish cheers until they kept pushing me to learn dish cheers, and I'm so happy.
Because you didn't believe that, like, they have cheerleaders. Like, we've
But even when they saying they have cheerleaders, they kept saying, they saying they want to beef with us. They saying they want to beef with us.
We follow all the cheerleaders.
I'm like, this is me, y'all. I'm like, no, once we learn these regular cheers, then we can learn this cheer. They said, Coach, y'all, we have to learn one because they gonna want to beef with us. And I didn't know until we got there that was the real deal, Holyfield.
Yeah, they was on that. Kid was on that. So it's a clip that really stood out to me, and I think it was probably after the game. I want to say.
No, we was coming out the locker room.
It was, so we was coming out with our locker room for halftime.
Yeah.
I get at this moment y'all having y'all's cheer battle. We hear it going down, the crowd going crazy. You know, it's energy in the gym because we was we had a nice little lead going at first. And then they start making, had a nice little lead going into halftime, right?
Yeah, then they
start
after
making
halftime,
threes.
After halftime.
Yeah.
Okay, so us coming out, we see it's going down, and I think at this point in time, maybe I don't know if Kip cheerleaders was cheering or if we was cheering,
Probably.
but
Nah,
of course,
we came out. They was going at it.
they was already going at it. Okay, but I didn't see it because I used to love watching y'all, but I used to have to focus in on my boys, like coach mode. So after I think we was at the crib, I'm watching the video of the of the battle,
Layla was
and
tripping.
then
She was tripping.
it's a video that I slowed down, and it's like you had maybe flipped or did all this extra stuff, and then you walked all the way to their little thing and did this, and then you turned around. And
Had a little mug on
I
your face,
paused it right at that angle when you had the craziest mug on your face.
Like this, like,
and I'm like,
No.
I like her. I like her because she was on that.
no,
So,
this the part where she threw up the. Y'all ain't
You
even
get the
see
W.
that.
So-
Nah, I ain't see
Y'all
that.
ain't see that.
she was on that. So that's what so to hear that you was a little reserved going into possibly the season. What was your mentality going to that game, and then to have that energy of representation of one your squad and then two the boys as well? Like how did that? I like that energy.
I was very confident. I'm like, I had confidence in y'all, of course, but I'm like, oh, we got this. I'm like, cheerleaders, we got this. Like, they ain't nothing for real. So we going into like, I'm low key kind of scared, but I'm not showing it. But like, as we warming up, we doing all that. We about to go out. Everybody like, oh my God, I'm gonna throw up. Oh my God, oh my God, I'm gonna throw up. But I'm like, y'all cool. Janae kept running back to the bathroom. I'm like, y'all are okay. We're going to be cool. So as we out there, we warming up, everybody like, oh, we okay. Throw our first cheer, it's cool. But like, and then it's when they start throwing them dish cheers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what turned you up. Like, that's what had you like.
I'm like, I can't really hear the cheerleaders, so I'm not worried about them. Like, they's not loud enough for me to hear them, so I'm cool. But then I seen one of them, they start popping their neck. I'm like, I look at my team. Then I look at
What's
Coach
popping
Young.
your neck like?
It was like
jumping up.
Oh, doing that.
Doing this.
So now it's smoke.
yes. So I look at Coach Young. I'm like, can we throw this? She's like, not yet. Wait, I'm like,
Trying to be all reserved. Like, let's do it this
But hold on,
year.
wait. But finish your story, because then the way that I told y'all to do it went out the right way.
yes. Like then when we actually heard say something about like dissing, I looked over. She's like, y'all can do it now because they threw it 1st. So it's not nothing like that. So we threw. I forgot the first cheer that we threw. I forgot it.
It was simple. It was something like just super simple.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe
even
like
remember.
next time try to cut us up, come back with a cheer
No,
that ain't so bad.
it's the
I think it was like the I can't hear you type.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it
we
was.
see y'all talking, but we can't
yes,
hear you.
It, how you know, Rue? Look, how
I was listening.
you was listening.
I was walking out and they were saying this. So I was like,
Okay, yeah, it was something like that. But go ahead though.
So after we threw our first dish chair, they just kept trying to go back and forth. We trying to wait a little bit because we only had like 5 at the time. They keep throwing them back to back. I'm like, y'all wait. Just wait. So yeah, that was really how it was. I was very confident in the boys. I was very confident in us. I just knew it was going to win.
So what made you throw up the W? I still haven't processed that because that was never. Just to let y'all know, that was never a part of.
I'm all for it. I
they just
support
knew
it.
we was gonna
Listen,
win.
everybody
Yeah,
was
like-
like, "Yo, girl, Layla," and Keon mom was like, "I love Layla. She just threw up the." When she did it though, even in that moment, Layla, as a coach, this is how I felt. I was like, "What?" Like.
She was mad. Once she explained it, she was like, because as cheerleaders, they still have to
Keep
represent
class.
themselves and have classes. Because I was like, nah, they was on that. I had y'all's
yeah,
back.
like they on that time.
Yeah, I would have y'all's back. But she was like, no, they did good, but they have to keep class. I'm like, okay, I get what you're saying. Because as cheerleaders, you don't really see it go there. But in the heat of that moment, I was like, yeah, that was
That was
yeah,
tough.
that was hard.
No, I wasn't mad at her in the moment. I was shocked because we've never discussed like, all right, throw up the W's, like turn up. We never had this kind
They
of
all threw
discussion.
it up or just her?
Nah,
She
just
she
me.
flipped and then came back and put her tongue out and was like, and I as a
she
coach,
on that.
like I'm like. I just
but-
felt like my heart was beating
Yeah.
out my chest because I don't teach them that. So I was just so shocked. But I wasn't like mad at her. I just was like,
Yeah, and like after I did it, I just heard everybody screaming. Then Deshauna come up to me. She started dapping me up. I'm
Yeah,
like,
because she was. Deshauna got the dreads, right?
No.
Which who
She had braids.
Paige.
Had
Paige was on that. Paige was right
the whole
behind
team
you.
was on that. Mama,
Yeah.
listen, this was the thing though. That's what happened too. Remember, I told you she threw up the W. She came back through up the W's, and then her and Deshauna, they shook hands.
Yeah, I like
they
that.
dapped
Yeah,
each
they was
other
on
up,
that. Yeah, they
and
was on that.
then Paige all like, and I'm like, these like y'all just turned into some straight gangsters, and then I'm like. Have some class. Have some class.
Nah, but that energy did help us throughout.
Yeah.
That energy did help us throughout the game.
It did, didn't it?
but-
I knew it did, but I think for me,
hold
I was
on.
shocked. I was very shocked.
Because hold on, the girls they turned up. Y'all turned up at halftime, but then we came out.
Yeah, we was already coming up.
But then we started getting blasted second half. Let's tell the truth.
But hold on, wait. But why did they start getting blasted? What did I tell y'all that they started getting blasted?
because we was too worried about the cheerleaders instead of worrying about the
Who we
boys.
was?
They was. I said, as cheerleaders,
so
our job is to cheer y'all on. I said the reason why they not really doing as good because y'all too busy worried about beefing when y'all should be cheering them on. Because anytime we say dribble that ball and shoot, they just happen y'all dribble the ball and shoot. We say defense. I'm dead serious. They was really worried about beefing the whole time.
It was a game. I mean, they probably did, but it was a game of runs. Like I had told the boys at halftime, it's gonna be a game of runs. They gonna come out and
what's the game of runs like
how we had that spurt at the beginning of the game. You know, I knew it was gonna be a crazy game when the first time Kip scored. It was probably like I don't know what the score was, but we had
got dumb loud.
Yeah, we had already scored a few times, but when Kip scored and the crowd went crazy, I'm like, oh, it's going down in here. So it's gonna be a game of runs to where we gonna have our moments where we might go up 6-7 points. You know, we might score 6-7 points in a row, and then they might get some stops, and then they might score 5 points in a row. You know what I'm saying? But staying composed. But I think that was the biggest court we had played during at that time so far. Kid was our
like a bigger gym, like a bigger court.
And then with the adrenaline of the gym and the physicality and how the crowd. I think our boys. I mean, I'm gonna let Reub, say how he feels. I think we lost a little momentum going into, and then we had got pressed for the first time, and we had yet to get pressed.
We didn't have a press.
So, they had went on a crazy run second half. They was hitting shots from half court. It was everything that could have happened for us to lose the game.
It was everything that couldn't have went wrong, just went wrong.
Started going wrong.
Wow.
So Reub, in that moment of the game, because I remember a few times I was Reub, this one I'm like, oh, Reub. I called a timeout one time and I'm talking to Reub, but Reub just looking like this, like with a blank stare at me. And I'm like, is Reub listening to me or is he just zoned in to where it's just everything going? So for you, Reub, what was that game? That game like? Because at that time we had yet to have like a big
real
game.
competition. I would say.
So, I mean, most of us have been in that position before where it's loud and it's a lot of people, and that's gonna bring us to like the championship. But like, I'll get there. But most of us haven't been in that intense situation in a long time, or most of us haven't been in it at all. So I guess some of their energy left. Well, a lot of their energy had left once they started hitting their shots. The game got close, then it turned into a dogfight. So once the dogfight came, it just came down to skill and
and who was going to finish it off.
What was you thinking in that moment though? Like, what was you like? Like he just said he was having a full blown conversation with you. You was like not even. Like you was just somewhere totally different
in the zone, in a good way, not as if he was.
You was just in basketball mode. You was in basketball mode, but where was you at?
We can't lose this game, huh?
yeah.
We can't lose. Did you get a dunk that game?
Nah.
I wish you would have. I wish you would have. It would have went crazy in there. I wish you would have. But it's crazy because game of runs, like I said, we had yet to be pressed. So we had kind of worked on it a little bit, but up until that time, like I said, we hadn't really like consistently nailed it in practice. So we got pressed and they was just scrappy, it was getting sped up a little bit. And, to Kip's, give credit to Kip. They played well. But our our little seventh grader, man, hit the game winning shot, threw off his jersey at the end of the game. You know,
listen, I'm so happy he did that because I was afraid of y'all going in overtime. I'm gonna be 100 with y'all.
We had it. I said we gonna win this.
I wasn't afraid that y'all couldn't do it, but I just was like, I don't want to go in overtime.
Oh, yeah,
I just don't want this to go in overtime.
Yeah, momentum was on their side for sure.
Yeah, I said, no, Lord, please don't let this go in overtime. And he hit the shot. I was like, okay, cool. Like, that was cool. That was it. But watching y'all, it was, to be honest, on the outside looking in, like from my girls to the basketball, it was so much going on. It was like literally so much going on that I couldn't focus. I don't even know if I sat down. I was trying. It was like watching y'all and then my girls going back and forth and then just the energy in the atmosphere. The energy was so crazy, like super different than what we all was used to, because we haven't even played nobody that even had cheerleaders. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the thing for us. Like we've never even had competition, and we went to other schools or we seen high school levels and we just felt like, okay, but to actually see some good cheerleaders, like, cause they were good cheerleaders. You know, that's undeniable. We give credit where credit is due. They were some good cheerleaders, but you know they had a high school and then they had a middle schooler, and it just so happened, you know, I feel like our middle school girls, like I seen so much growth that night that, you know, we turned up on the court, but then also too individually, like everybody on the team, from the ones that's really quiet. To the, like, I'm talking about acting like they was like straight gangsters. I could not believe
it was fun.
What came out of all of them. Serenity, Bella, Dorcas. You just see everybody heads like, and you just see the hand clapping, and the it just was just crazy that night. I don't even know like how to really explain it.
Yeah, and all that energy came from everybody talking about the game and like
before.
Yeah.
So people, was they talking to y'all like before like the game, telling y'all they was gonna whoop y'all and all that stuff?
They was texting most of us, but I didn't pay attention. I was just like, all right. I really don't say much. I just be like, all right, and I just let it be.
For sure.
Yeah. So was they doing the same thing with y'all, like, or was y'all just hearing like?
They was really like, they was making posts. Like they was not texting us. They were just making posts, and it would just be like a, all right moment.
So, but how did you feel when you knew you was about to go get some other cheerleaders? Like,
I was very excited. Like I was very excited because I haven't cheered in a very long time since this school year, and I feel like putting us in that type of like environment, yeah, make us loosen up a little bit and make us get everything that we needed to get off of our chest and scream and have a good time.
Did y'all feel like y'all learned from that game though? Like the do's and don'ts in different areas, like as a cheerleader, as a basketball player, or as a team, like, or just in general, did y'all feel like y'all learned from that experience?
Yeah.
Yes.
You did?
That's what's up. So what would Reub, what's one of your biggest takeaways that you feel like you can get from this season or past season, and you know, take it into wherever you're gonna go next year, and then not even basketball, maybe even life as well? Like, what's one of your biggest takeaways?
Take everything slow.
That's what's up.
Cause not everything can adjust.
That's what's up.
Fast enough to.
That's what's up. That sounds like something Coach.
Yeah.
Like, chill, relax, take it slow.
I like that. I mean, shoot, because even with that, man, like you said, I wish I could do it. Reub hit the chat before, like, man, I wish we could have one more moment with the, you know, it went by so fast. And I know you probably wasn't saying in this, you know, as far as, you know, I wish we could just slow it down and just do it all. But I'm sure you feel that way. But man, like, I wish I could just go back a little bit and just be like, man, just live it one more time and just take it day by day, and like, man, because it was a great season. So I like that. Take things slow. What about you, Layla?
I feel like you gotta think before you do stuff. Like that was kind of our problem a little bit. It was like we did stuff really fast and we never really thought before doing it. And I feel like when we did it, it just wasn't what was supposed to be done, how we thought it was going to turn out, because we just never used to think before we did anything.
So as the captain, like, you know, did you learn anything about yourself? Like what was something, just give me something that you might have learned from being.
I learned that, like, I still make mistakes as being a captain. I still, like, I'm no better than anybody else. I learned all of that. I make really big mistakes. I learned that as being captain. Like when I didn't get the girls ready on time, I'd be like, oh shoot, like we used to be running, we used to come down, I'd be like, we ain't stretch, we ain't do nothing, we just running. I'm like, I gotta get this together, like I gotta
So
be
you
better
learn
at
better
this.
like leadership abilities though. You know, that's really, really
And
good.
and accountability, it sound like.
Yeah, and accountability, like
And
because,
how
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
and how you knowing that you was a captain, or if this don't go right, no matter that, how many girls did y'all have?
13,
Although 13 including Layla.
including Layla.
So as a captain, accountability on shoe, even though we might not be playing well or cheering well or we didn't prepare well, it's gonna fall back on you as a captain. So that's what's up, accountability, and that's a lot of growth right there, especially at y'all's age. Because I know when I was in middle school, I didn't even know what accountability was. Yeah, I had nothing.
Nah, for sure, because you ain't, well, definitely the times have changed, but, you know, you just going with the motions. You're just trying to do what you're doing at, you know, but for y'all definitely are very, like, I would say just, they got a lot of wisdom for y'all to be, you know, the age that y'all are, a little bit more mature than the average. So, you know, that's why y'all were able to be, you know, captains of, you know, teams and different things like that. Do y'all feel like we challenged y'all in different ways? Like, where, like, say, for Reub, like you said, you don't really talk like that. Like, do you feel like he challenged you in a way where you had to, like, kind of step up and be like, come on, y'all, we need to run, like, we need to, come on, what y'all doing, you know? Or Layla, like you, like, you know, do you feel like I've challenged you in certain areas to help you grow?
Not really.
Okay, that's fair. Hey, that's fair. What about you, Reub?
Yeah, it did. It challenged me to grow a lot more social skills.
Yeah.
And being able to talk out loud.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, with Reub, yeah, I can see that, because I used to tell Reub, like, bruh, it's gonna fall back on you, you know.
Yeah.
Of course, as us as a whole, but like, bro, you come in here, you, like I told at the beginning, bro, you work too hard every single day for you not to be vocal enough to, because whatever, if you say, bro, if you tell one of these dudes to run through a wall and they don't do it for you, I'm gonna get on them, because you would do it, you know what I'm saying? And you show that you ain't just saying it because you got the ability to do it and you the captain on this team, but you actually come in here and do that. So, bro, you have, and you got the skill, you know. And it's like I tell them, one thing as a, you know, as a coach that you gonna look, that I would look for if I was a high school coach. Like, if I knew Reub was coming to my program next year, the first thing I'm gonna look for, I know Reub can dunk. Every high school coach in the world know he can dunk. Every high school in the world know he got athleticism.
Yeah.
They done seen that, but are you gonna come into my program? Or are you gonna be talking? You know, the first day, are you gonna be leading on defense? Are you gonna be being the leader? Are you gonna be telling, you know what I'm saying? Are you gonna be motivating cats?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to do the small things and be that person, but just get caught going through the motions. But are you gonna be that one to come in here and from the first day you step onto my floor, be a vocal leader, you know what I'm saying, for my team? So, you know, that's one thing that I hope that you are able to take to wherever you go. Because, like I said, you already got the athleticism and everything else you need. You know, the skill set, the sky is the limit, for sure.
I think, like, even like with you, like you just had leadership in you. You knew, like, you just knew. She's already vocal. She's already, like, you know, that was already you. You know what I'm saying? So just, like, as far as you, like, leading and doing what you did, that came low-key naturally. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really did. You know, you ain't really have no struggles, or I didn't really have to get on you much. But like you said, like, one of the things that you had learned was, like, I'm not better than anybody. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a position that you should stay in, like, being humble no matter where you go, because you know you could flip, you know you can, you carry confidence, you know you got certain things about you, but can you, when you're around other people, still remain like, I ain't better than nobody, I'm still learning. You know what I'm saying? So, like, even when you go forth, because I know you're not cheering next year, but whatever you decide to do, you know what I'm saying? Your capabilities, your power, and all the, like, everything that's about you, like, you can do whatever you want to do. You know, you hear that often, like, people say, you could be whatever you want to be, like, but literally when I say the confidence and how smart you are, like, you literally can do whatever you want to do, and I know that you'll be good at whatever it is that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because you just got that about you. You know what I'm saying? So my question is, you know...
Hold on, well, I know we had asked them, what was your biggest takeaway? So we going
Our biggest takeaway?
And I'll start it off. One of my biggest takeaways from this season was and it's after we took an L in the championship, like we'll get to that, but man, you can do everything right in life, everything right, and still fall short, and I think that's important to know and to realize, like sometimes the biggest blessing is the L in the lesson, and I had picked that up, and I really mean that, because man, we worked hard. I pushed them boys day in, day out, to the point to where sometimes I used to really tell myself, like, man, sometimes I need to probably fall back and just give them a little bit more credit than when I'm giving them, but I would be so locked in coach mode and try and be, get these boys to the next level. When I get into the gym, it used to be like, nah, forget that. No missed layups. No, you know what I'm saying? No nothing. That's the expectation we gonna have. Y'all missing layups and whatever, let's get on this, you know what I'm saying? But we did, when I tell you these boys worked hard and exceeded all expectations, it was what I consider to be a somewhat simple drill that we started at the beginning of the year one time. It was like it was a drill that we used to do in college to warm up. Something like a 3-man weave, 2 guys on the outside, pass to them. Long story short, it looked terrible the first time we did it. Terrible. And it was a 3-man weave, but you have the two guys on the outside, they pass it to the wing players coming in for a jump shot, and then they run, and our goal was to get like 150 in 5 minutes, a total of 150. So it's a little addition to a 3-man weave, so everybody can shoot, and we work on our jump shots. First time we did it, I was ballistic. I lost it. They was messing up. They couldn't do it. And to be honest, it's like, coach, relax. That's how you messed up your 11s, losing your marbles, but relax.
Still trying to get those things
relax.
Together.
They're middle school kids. Yeah. Realistically, you just did this drill your first time in college.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Have a little bit more grace.
Have a little bit more grace. They're trying, but by the end of the year, and we did it and we met our goal, but my whole point is these boys worked hard, they never sold me short. They never sold themselves shorts. They pushed themselves every day. We started with 14, we ended with 14. They pushed themselves, but we took an L in the championship, so if you look at our season, everything went perfect, from our standpoints. We worked hard in practice. We won games. We had highlights. Everyone had 3.0s. All the things that makes a good team. Had some up and downs as far as situations and practices amongst teammates, but we pushed through. We persevered, but we still fell short. So I would say the biggest blessing sometimes can be the L in the lesson, because if we would have won that game as a coach and maybe as like a player like Reub, sometimes you get blinded by the champion holding that medal up and being like, dang, I did everything perfect. Or it's nothing else. I did everything perfect. There's nothing else that I could have did to get better. But in all actuality, like, we did everything as perfect as we thought we could, but it's still some improvements that we could have made. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would have been lovely to win the championship, but let's sit back and reflect and be like, okay, we lost. Where did we fall short? So for me as a coach, that's probably what I would say is my biggest takeaway. Like, never know how the thing is going to end when it's all said and done, how it's going to end. But what you can do is try to prepare yourself as best as possible.
Yeah. Mine's probably a little shorter.
That's what's up.
Mine was more so just like, with my girls, I had to learn the position that I play, and just meeting them at their level. Like, I'm dealing with middle school girls, you know what I'm saying? So I realized, it took me a little minute to realize it, but it's like, my job was to literally just be here to, like you said, help instill confidence, or I was really focused on building character. Like, regardless, that's wrong, don't do that, you know what I'm saying? Or just having those conversations and being able to be like open and vulnerable with y'all and still relatable, but also teaching y'all what's right. You know what I'm saying? So I was most of my biggest takeaways was just really being able to have to reflect the love of God at an ultimate level, showing grace, being patient, And watching how I talk to them, because I would get upset sometimes and be like, bro, what are y'all doing, bro? Da, 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 da. And I would have to have my little moments in practice, like, you know what, Lord, let me, and I'm gonna come back and I'm just get, you know what, I'm gonna just give y'all a moment. I had some amazing girls, like, and I seen the growth from like day one, like literally since like from day one, like, you know, they might not, they literally, I have seen growth. I would say that. So my biggest takeaway was just knowing that, like, and just in general, the role that I play and why I'm in these girls' lives and just even the girls to come, like, just literally character development, and then just really reflect and me learning to reflect the love of God genuinely, like with nothing to it, just literally being able to be like, listen and really hear them out, because I think I'm such a like disciplinary, like, out and no, be like this, be like that, and they caused me to kind of like, I had to chill out on that. I had to show them more grace, because I had girls get in trouble every day, right? Like every day before practice came, I had teachers come to me about this girl, that girl, this girl, that girl, and I was getting discouraged because I was trying to learn how to balance being a coach, but then also being a staff, and then also disciplining them, and then also still teaching them. So it was just so much to, but, you know, God was like, you can't be moving out of the flesh, you know, just having a lot of anger and, you know, whatever. Because I would come home drained, like, I'm just saying the name. Little Tone came to practice, and she cussed the teacher out today, and I just talked to her, and she did it 3 days in a row. I think I'm about to cut her, and Q will be like, baby, you can't do that. I'm like, why not? Because she already know that she ain't supposed to be doing that. You know, like, that's how I was. So I feel like one of my biggest takeaways was just literally, like, knowing the role that I play, having to really reflect the love of God, but, like, and really just, like, you know, just character development, you know? So, yeah, I definitely think those is kind of, like, my biggest takeaways, because we had an amazing season. Mm-hmm. And all my girls literally have grown from like day one. It's not one girl that I have not seen develop more confidence, more skill, and just a better attitude. You know, they might not be at the best level, but I done seen some growth with, you know, attitude, and even just like teamwork. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like after a while I just started to develop that good teamwork. Like,
I knew we had a good season, and just like you said, the growth. I knew we had a good season. It's funny, Reub. I just seen Charlie at an AU tournament. I'm like, Charlie playing AU? Like, that's great. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody like him, he was our manager. And that's how you know things was well. We had good camaraderie, because he never got to step onto a court to play, you know what I'm saying? But for him to still be motivated and still be having fun with basketball, and to have made an AAU team, I'm like, oh, that's what's up. So shout out to Charlie if he ever sees this. But Reub, kind of, since I kind of got into the city championship a little bit, like, before we even, I guess, get on the championship game, like, what was your preparation? Like, okay, let me take it back.
No, we
what was it like? I guess this kind of could be a question for me, but knowing, like, so all year, let's just be honest, did you know we was gonna make it to the city championship?
Yeah.
So so how was it? Because you are very humble. What was it like balancing that out? You know, because he could have easily got to your head. I never seen you act not out of your character. What was it like balancing that out all year, knowing like, bro, coach, relax, we gonna make it to the city championship?
Definitely took a lot of thinking, and it took a lot of self-encouragement, confidence. Confidence is definitely key for things like that, making it to the championship. Mm-hmm. And throughout the season, us having the skill that we had going against the skill that they had, you could kind of like see everybody's development and going into the championship. And plus the KIP game, all the energy.
That helped out a lot, I would say. So, okay, we make it through the playoffs. What we have, 3 games in the playoffs?
Yeah.
2 or 3 games to make it to the playoffs. We win our games, get the bid to the championship. What was that like? Like, now we here. Like, you know, the very next game is the championship game, and it's against Sherwood, the boys out east that we've been hearing about all year. Reese and Dion, you know, shout out to them boys. What was that like?
You had to sit up.
I like how Reub think before he speaks.
Mm-hmm.
It did take a lot of preparation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, we did what we did pregame at the school. That was to like take everybody's nerves away.
Mm-hmm.
So, because me, I was nervous too. So I just assumed
You had a great
everybody
game,
else was.
though.
Yeah.
Just throw that in there.
Talking about the preparation.
Mm-hmm.
So
So we played on a Thursday. Like we played on a Thursday because
Did
it
we?
was a different
they
day
wasn't
than our
school.
regular
They wasn't
games. It was a
school
different. It
Did we
wasn't.
go to school the next day? Yeah, we
I
did.
didn't. We had a PD day.
Yeah, we did.
We had a PD, so good. Y'all didn't even have to go to school, but they want to know. Like y'all said, championship is here. Like, what was that preparation like for you? Like mentally, like
I'm thinking
okay, our
about
next
us.
game is championship. What can I do to prepare myself as most as possible for this game? Like, you said you was a little? Did you say you was nervous?
yeah,
You was nervous. Yeah.
Layla, we thought we was gonna be cheering at the game, huh?
Yeah, because Cher was supposed to have cheerleaders too.
They did have cheerleaders.
They
they was
did
on
have
the other
They were
cheerleaders.
still
on the side.
cheering.
They did, and then we got hit with the bamboozle. They told us that because y'all went too hard against Kid.
No, they just
I
said
know,
that.
you
They
know
just
I'm playing.
literally said that.
They ain't
like,
want y'all to
no,
shut
what
the-
I
they ain't
think
want y'all to
happened, I'm
shut
gonna
the
be
gym
100
down.
with y'all. I'm gonna give y'all a little insight. What I think had happened is, I don't remember what school we played, but the
It was
coach,
Ridgeview.
It was, look, you ain't supposed to be out here telling
Nah, shout out to Woodward Park. It was Ridgeview. They, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, they was hating.
So we played at school and they did not want us to cheer, but we've been cheering all season or whatever. But Woodward Park's basketball court is small, of course, and I got 13 girls, but we was making it shake. So I think someone from that school said something.
that's what it.
No, I genuinely do, because I remember somebody, speaking to one of our administrators and just pretty much was saying like they don't need to cheer, they're a distraction, and he's like, they gonna cheer. So right after that, we had, because that was in the playoffs.
Yeah, that was the-
yeah. So
that
I
was the
guess
game,
they
yeah.
felt like, which we had already beat them like 2 times prior. So I guess they felt like that was just one of the things that they was like, no, that's not cool. The next thing just the email just pretty much saying that cheerleaders couldn't cheer, and for us that really hurt all of us. It hurt all of us because we've been cheering this whole season, and it would have just been nice to know like that we wouldn't have been able to cheer prior. You know what I'm saying? Like literally prior. Because we could have ended our season and we could have did things, a certain way, but everything played out the way it was supposed to. But I was really hurt because I wasn't at school that day to be able to be there when y'all got the news. So Layla, how did you feel like? Because we was preparing for championship too, because
Yeah.
we was thinking we was gonna cheer against Sherwood cheerleaders,
for sure.
and we were thinking we was about to it was gonna be a grand finale. So what was it like for you to be like when we found out that we was not cheering for the championship?
I thought like that practice, I had a lot to prove because that was my first practice like by myself for real, because you wasn't there. So it was like I was leading a lot and I was trying to get girls ready for the championship, learning new cheers, just cleaning everything up. But like when we got it, I'm like, so everything we just learned right here, we're really not gonna be able to do it for real. So I was like, I was mad, like I was really mad. So because I'm like, we cheered this whole time. What's the problem now? Like, and it probably was like because we're a distraction, but like that's what we're here for. Like we're supposed to make our boys win.
Yeah, that's what cheerleaders are for.
But it's like we beat Ridgeview twice, but one of the games we wasn't even at.
Yeah.
And we still won.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't really see the problem, but we
So
still
like,
cheered.
like when we found out we wasn't cheering, like what was your thoughts? Like literally, like what was the thoughts? Because you was going hard.
I was so mad. Like I don't even remember what I was thinking.
Yeah, to be
my thoughts
totally
was,
honest.
like, everywhere it was just.
But then we were able to still go and cheer in the bleachers, and that was actually a little bit more
It
turn,
worked out
wasn't
better.
it? That was actually turn.
But we really only had a little bit of space. We had this much space. I'm like,
I think it worked out better for y'all. Remember I told you, I was like, man, baby, it's gonna work out. Y'all gonna be able to cheer in the bleachers. They can't tell y'all can't cheer in the bleachers.
I was
y'all,
just trying to be respectful.
No, for sure. I'm like, but they can't tell y'all can't cheer in the bleachers. At that point, you a visitor. So wear y'all's Woodward Park stuff and just cheer, like, in which y'all was able to turn it up. Everybody said y'all still had a battle, kind of, didn't y'all?
Yeah, we did. And on top of that, we still was turned. Like we was definitely turned. But I just felt like as a coach, just being on the opposite side and going through all this throughout the season and just really being able to put in all that hard work with each other and that time we spent with each other, like I feel like it was just taken away from us. But it definitely still worked out. But as a coach, it definitely was discouraging because it's like I'm literally for my girls, like, and I'm for just youth in general. So it just hurt my feelings that they took away something. So that was like a monumental moment, whether we won or we lost. It was still something that y'all looked forward to, and it was no heads up or anything like that. So for me, that definitely had me in a little chokehold. I think I shed a tear or something because I seen how sad all my girls were. But when we got there and we were able to cheer in the stands, we definitely turned the stands up.
I heard y'all did.
Yeah, people were like, "Are y'all high school cheerleaders?" It definitely went. It definitely went well, and it was still fun. And we probably we had the stands. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all had a great season. Y'all cheered at high school games, all-stars, two all-star games or one all-star game.
Was it
all-star game?
It was one.
Games.
It was one. It was our last game.
Yeah.
Remember? The last game when we cheered at that school, and it was like all-star. Yeah, we cheered at one, but we got invited to a bunch of them. But I was always just on point about what made sense for my girls.
That's what's up.
I'm one of the ones, like I said, I'm talking about character development and all that stuff. I don't believe in cattiness. I teach my girls to get along. I teach my girls to not talk about each other. I teach my girls to just not be mean girls. So I always did what was best for me and my girls. You know what I'm saying? So that was my motive throughout the whole season, was to make sure that y'all was good and that y'all was learning as much as y'all needed to learn to go to the next level.
That's what's up. So Reub, now we're here.
Let me just say this: like, this is not the Reub and Q show.
No, I'm just saying.
Back to you, girl. No, I'm messing with you.
So now Reub, we're here. It's championship day. What was that like for you? And you can just go from day to the game, everything.
So the first day, I was confident of. I mean, the first day tryouts, I wasn't.
No. The championship.
Oh, the championship.
Yeah.
My bad.
All right. Getting ready for the game. It was a lot to take in because we here now. Last year, we lost in the playoffs first round. So we here now, and it's like we made it. After all the hard work, after all the sweat, most tears. Wouldn't say blood, but yeah. So once we got on the bus, I just kind of had to zone out for a little bit as we got there. So once we arrived,
you get lower and lower.
Oh my boy! Oh my bad. We had got there, we arrived, and I got everybody ready in the locker room. Talking to everybody, make sure everybody good. And then the anxiety comes in from everybody. And the most person to hit was Kai. Because, he was small and he just had a lot of stuff going through his head. So we had to tell him it was all right. So once we got on the court, it was just them, us, and a bunch of noise. And a lot of us couldn't, play through all that. Even though, the cheerleaders, the stands, the bleachers rumbling. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big moment. It was like Kip game was loud, but this game was 10 times louder than Kip. You know, we had people on this side and on the other side, whereas Kip was just on the one side. So
it was a bigger stage for sure. When we got there, it was like going to like an actual like an actual championship game, but for middle schoolers, it was like what? Like it felt like a different level. Like it definitely did. So how did you feel when you found out the cheerleaders couldn't cheer?
I was lucky bummed out. I had told everybody else. They was all in shock because that was our first time hearing about it, and it was like, they was like, dang, and I was like, best believe they gonna find a way, and I'm like, it was like, yeah, probably. I was like, yeah. Do
you feel like y'all needed us?
For sure, that game, yeah.
What's your favorite cheer, Reub?
This game.
What's your favorite cheer? You know what? Don't even act like you don't.
I do.
Don't
I gotta think about it.
I know you got one off top.
He be like, I don't even know the cheers, but be doing them.
I don't even be doing all that.
But
it's like,
think of one, or just what's one of your? Well, I know what your favorite cheer is.
The dribble one.
What, dribble like you trying to make his legs? She stopped liking that.
Really?
Yeah, because that's one of those viral cheers. You just keep hearing it and hearing it, hearing it and hearing it. And they didn't when you take it from somewhere, I told them that, you just get tired of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the championship game was cool, though. I enjoyed it as a coach. My first year as a head coach on this level, you know what I'm saying? AU, you ain't got no championship unless you make it to this, national. Yeah. But it was dope. Like I said, it was super loud in there. It was us against Sherwood, and they had like 5 coaches on their squad, and wish things would have turned out differently, but they didn't. But the boys played hard. I sit back and reflect a lot as far as as a coach what I could have possibly did differently. And Sherwood had attacked it to where they held the ball, and we've worked on that personally in practice. We called it 4 corners, which I'm sure everyone probably does. So we had seen it before, but we had yet to play up against it. And, they had 2 boys on their team that was, some pretty good players, Reese and Dion. But as a coach, one thing that I wish I would have did differently to help possibly lead my boys to success or get over that hump was I wish I would have played Jamari. Like, I would have played him a little bit more. And what I would have did was in the moment, or this is what you could have did with an assistant, I was trying to tell my boys, to come up. And I remember it was one time in specific, I was telling someone to go and pressure up and then trap. And then Reub ended up being the person. I wasn't telling Reub to go and do the trap, but he ended up doing. But what I wish, now that I've been in that situation as a coach, something that I might do, or if I'm able to have an assistant in middle school, go talk to someone on my bench, draw up with him what I want him to do, put him on the floor, let him do it, and then maybe pull out Makai real quick, let Makai see it, and then draw it up with him, because it was so loud in there. It was hard telling, and even through the timeouts in that 30 seconds, it's hard telling the boys, this is what I want you to do, because we went up, we talked about it in the timeouts, but it didn't get executed for them to stop holding that ball like that. So that's probably a huge adjustment I would have made. Talk somebody out, talk it through with somebody on the bench, let them go in there and do that. But man, wish things could have went differently though. But
everything went the way it was supposed
for sure.
to.
Most definitely got cheated by the refs though.
Yeah, I got cheated by the refs.
I wish you would have. I wish you would have been able to dunk that game, man.
Bro, because you remember the first time I tried a Dion foul?
Nah, it was Reese. Reese grabbed you.
No, yeah, the first time Reese grabbed me. The second time Dion had fouled me, and the ref was standing right there.
So okay, because we're gonna wrap it up. I got it for both of y'all. Y'all going to ninth grade next year. Y'all in 8th grade. Y'all going to 9th grade next year. Y'all going to high school. So you going to have people coming in after y'all that we going to coach. If y'all can give them any kind of advice or tips, just anything that you would want to leave for somebody that's coming up under you big bro, you big sis, or just somebody
assistant
that's
coach.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm coming back doing that. You already know.
What's something that y'all can that would y'all say to them? Just any type of advice. I'm gonna start with Layla, and then I'm gonna give you time to think, Reub. What's something that you could give to them?
Be confident. Confident gets you a long way. Like me, I was very confident coming in. I knew I wanted to be captain. I got it, and I was just confident the whole entire way, and I feel like I was good.
Be confident. Yep. Okay, Reub, what you got?
Stay humble and give it your all.
Stay humble and give it your all.
That's what's up.
I like that.
I like both of them.
I like both of them. Be confident. She said I knew I wanted to be captain. I got that. So yeah.
I like that, especially being a young lady too, because you know that's something that you can tell any little young girl that's coming up after you, and even girls that's probably older than you. Confidence is key, you know, especially in y'all's generation growing up, and y'all got social media that y'all can be affected by so much stuff. So for you to say that already at your age, and trying to instill that into other people coming up behind you, that's pretty dope. That you're trying to push that for young ladies.
Yeah, we gotta get Layla to start cheering though.
Or just be your assistant coach.
Yeah, but Layla, she gotta give the world some more of her in that area. I'm just saying, she just do.
I can't do it.
We gonna figure it
I
out.
don't know how the Beechcroft cheerleaders is anyway, so I'm not gonna do it until I know if they're.
You ain't trying to put in no more work. Look, you see
that? That's what's up.
All right, so let me see. What do I want to ask you before we leave? Maybe nothing.
Yeah, I mean, good. I like that, Ruth. Stay humble, all right? Whatever you do in life, man, basketball is going to get you as far as you want it to go, but you know it's going to be life after that. So you continue doing what you're doing, continue having the character, and that's for both of y'all. Both of y'all's characters is amazing. Continue building your character, staying humble, working hard. The sky is the limit. Stay in the gym like you are a gym rat. And you, man, there's so many blessings that's going to continue to come your way. I can't wait to be there. And that was, that's probably one of the reasons why I can't coach high school ball either. I got games to go to next year, leaving Warp. I got games to show up to.
We will see.
Yep.
We might have to do a part 2 one day because, I feel like it's so much more to ask. And then I know once y'all friends see this, they're going to be asking all these questions and stuff. So make sure that y'all like, comment, subscribe, share this interview. And like I said, we'll be back. We might do a part 2 if that's something that y'all would want to do. And have a little bit more conversation because it's so much, like I said, it's so much to dive into and so much more to talk about. Outside of cheerleading and basketball. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to get into that. But thank you for tuning in and watching Neighborhood Politics.